And now we'll fill for a minute or two to make sure it actually starts recording, and then we'll be good to go.
Sounds good.
Hi, chat. Ow.
Is there any news before previews?
No.
Okay.
I don't guess. We haven't done Monday Night Magic in 2 weeks because literal nothing happened. Ouch. Oh, yeah. Pinball said Kibler didn't even get to Legend that month. Yeah, when I after we did our set review, I was looking up other people to see if anyone else had done a set review. And I found Trump who'd done a set review, and I said, "Oh, okay, I'll watch some of his stuff." And so I subscribed to his channel, and now he's putting up, normal ladder videos again. And he started down at like rank 14 or something, and I'm going, "What?"
Wow.
Yeah, because everybody stopped playing because it sucks, and Battlegrounds came out, so they just did that instead.
I have a love-hate relationship with Battlegrounds, but I feel like that's probably most people.
Yeah, it's definitely lost a lot of its luster for me.
Oh, it never really had any luster for me, so I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
It's an amusing diversion. It's a great alternate way to play, much like there's a million ways to play Magic. My only qualm with that is it's more of a time sink than most other ways to play. So
it's a huge time sink.
It's a little bit like, I feel like doing something a little different for the next 40 minutes. Anyway, so Hearthstone, yay. Magic, yay.
Well, that gives us 2 minutes. That's probably enough time to ensure that it has actually started recording. So here we go. Once the Odin Sun... Yeah, there it is. Odin Sun subbed for the 31st month. Odin Sun, didn't you just resub? Like a week or so ago? I'm confused. But hey, thank you. Oh no, you just gifted a lot of subs. That's what Mike, you're a subscriber now, by the way.
Huh?
You're a subscriber to the Mana Pool on Twitch.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
I get the cool chat emotes.
Yeah, that means you can bat at this game in bunk like that.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I see them now.
Yeah, because Odinson showed up and like threw 10 subscriptions in here, and it just hit 10 random people. So.
Word.
I thought they had to be viewers, but they weren't. They're just people who've watched recently. Okay. I was like, ooh, or followers or something. I remember seeing
a notification about that, but I guess I didn't look in the right place.
Yay.
Yeah. Huzzah.
But okay, so now we'll pause a minute and start the show. Ow, jam! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Mana Pool in 2020. The 2020, the year, and also the vision.
How long before that gets old?
It's already old.
It's already old.
Yeah.
It was old before it was even 2020.
All right, how about 2020, the year, and also the Merit Lodge?
There you go.
There you go. Yeah,
I like that. I like that. So who are you?
I am Chewie, the lead dork, and I am I'm very excited to be back podcasting. We haven't done a show in, has it been 2 weeks?
I say it depends on which show you're talking about.
What?
It does.
What?
Oh, so yeah, it has been 2 weeks for us, hasn't it?
We didn't record last week. We did record the week before that, though. So it's not our longest.
Oh, we only missed one.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were thinking we might not record tonight, but everybody said, you know what? Yes.
We're good.
Oh, it's Monday Night Magic that missed 2 shows.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh.
It's been 2 weeks.
Okay, so we only skipped one show, so I'm not even out of practice. I'm just dumb.
No.
Hey, look, I got all these other dorks here too.
I really do think the original plan was to not count on doing it this week, but hey, we're all here. They've given us some stuff to talk about. Let's talk about it. Speaking of talking, I'm Brian. I'm the lead rambler, tangent master of the group. And if you think I talk a lot during normal episodes, it's a preview episode, and I'm going to have opinions. And I haven't seen a whole lot of these previews, so you're going to get some really fresh, hot takes. Hot and fresh, maybe microwaved. We'll see.
So in other words, Dunkin' Donuts? No. Yes.
Dunkin' Donuts.
No.
Wait, no, the other one, Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme. There we go.
They're really
I'm
better
like,
fresh,
no.
though.
Which one is it? Krispy Kreme, hot and fresh.
My parents, both sets of parents, I'm 2 seconds with this. My parents, both sets of parents live out of state. Neither set of parents, Carrie's or mine, have a Krispy Kreme where they can get hot Krispy Kreme donuts. They have to buy it at the grocery store after they've been out for like 2 weeks or something. So every time they come down, they get Krispy Kreme donuts. My parents come down, Krispy Kreme donuts, fine. Carrie's parents come down a couple days later. Dad goes to get Krispy Kreme donuts. First time I've ever heard of this, the donut machine's broken.
Wow.
Never heard of that before. I didn't know it could break. All right, I'm done. Hey, Mike.
Hey, I'm Mike. I'm the rules guy and the game lore guy, and I have been keeping up with previews, so you're gonna get the cold yet still tasty leftover takes from me. Hopefully, my voice won't give out halfway through the episode due to the crud that I've had the past few days. We'll see.
If it does, you can just point and grunt.
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, it's weird. It's like it's been pretty consistent the last few days. Like at some point later on in the evening, suddenly everything will start feeling worse, even if I was feeling fine. So I don't know. We'll see what happens around 10 o'clock, I guess.
And I'm Dirk, the self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral compass of the group. And I'm definitely looking forward to the previews and everything. But one thing I will throw in real quick is, Mike, I'm going to give you about a week to go see the latest Star Wars movie. Because after that, I really want to talk about it.
Understood. And I really want to read articles about it too. But
I don't know if you do.
well, I mean, I do have the understanding.
You want to see the
that
movie
I'll
before
probably...
you start reading those articles, so you go ahead and have an opinion before you read the articles and go, no,
And
before that all starts going on.
And those articles start telling you, your opinion is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm certain I'll regret reading at least a few of them.
Thus is the nature of the internet.
Accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything is divisive these days.
No, everything on the internet is true.
No, it's not.
And divisive.
See, we're being divisive already.
Especially if it's in all caps.
True. Last month I went through all three of the Lord of the Rings books, and the internet strikes me as the Palantirs, where they give you lots of information, but they don't ever tell you the truth.
You know what? That's actually, that's pretty good.
Is it? Dare I
They're
say
all
it?
seeing, but they never tell you the full truth.
So one might say that it's incorrect news.
See, I see what you were trying to go for there, but you failed miserably.
Yeah, I decided. Anyway, so right.
Anyway,
we're all back. It hasn't been as long as maybe we thought, but we're refreshed and rested and we're ready to talk about some magic.
What Dirk said.
Seashells by the seashore.
Yes, she does. What Dirk said, but not what Brian said. So
I feel like that could be the subtitle of most shows.
What was? I got nothing. Okay, so tell you what, we're just gonna dive right in. Theros Beyond Death previews. There have been a mess of these going up. So
The pre-release is the 17th, week of the 17th, 18th, 19th, I think. So coming up.
yes,
Wow.
That's why we're hitting the ground running with this. So
yeah. So let's get to it. We're gonna start with the new gods, not
okay.
the thing that Jack Kirby created back in the 60s, 70s, one of those.
One of those.
Hang on, the new gods.
Wait, is it that early?
Is that Marvel or DC? That's DC, right?
Yeah,
That's
1971.
That's
Okay.
Dark Side, which I always want to pronounce Dark Seed, but it's weird.
Darkseid was in on that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. See right there. 1971. Okay, thanks, Google, for not being worthless. Now, we're going to talk about the new gods
Okay.
first because these are ridiculous. So let's go to white for Heliod.
All right.
Who wants to read Heliod? I seem
haven't
to have
read-
vomited slightly. Excuse
I
me.
haven't read any of this. I can talk about this one, or I can talk about the next one, or whatever.
Okay, you do this one then.
All right, I'm gonna sneeze.
Okay, Mike, you do this one then.
All right. Heliod, sun crowned.
I made a point of not muting so I could prove that I wasn't making it up. All right, go ahead. By the way, I always sneeze in pairs, so get ready.
So do I usually, like 3 or 4. There was one time I was visiting my parents' house, and I just sneezed one time. And then a few seconds later, I heard Mom ask from the other room, "Are you okay?" Anyway, Heliod Sun Crowned costs 2 and a white for a 5/5 legendary enchantment creature god who is mythic. Alright, so 3 mana for a 5/5 indestructible, similar to the first time we saw these folks. As long as your devotion to white is less than 5, Heliod isn't a creature. And it has 2 very enchantment-like abilities that are on regardless of whether it's a creature. First one, whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control. And then for 1 and a white, another target creature gains lifelink until end of turn.
That's fascinating. You can put it on non-creature enchantments.
Yeah.
Like him.
Yep. Exactly. Including
And the
gods who
other
haven't woken
gods?
up yet.
Or if you have other ways of making enchantments wake up or something like that. So,
Right.
fascinating.
Yeah. So the obvious combo with this that people who play Pioneer are terrified of is Walking Ballista.
Huh.
Yep.
Huh.
Because you
Yikes.
remove a counter to ping something, gain a life. Well, you give it lifelink, remove a counter to ping something, gain a life, put a counter on it. This is now an infinite machine gun.
But I mean, how many infinite machine guns do we have? Like, this just feels like another one.
But this is only 2 cards that you can do on turn 3.
Well, you gotta have mana to activate it, so.
Can you do it on turn 3?
Well, yeah. Oh, you only need 2 extra mana. We're talking Pioneer. That's easy.
Okay. But I mean, the Walking Ballista has to be a 2/2 at least to get it
Right.
running, right?
Otherwise, it dies to a status.
Oh, you're right. It's still possible, though. I'm sure.
It's,
Okay.
I mean, turn 4.
Not like consistently on turn 3, but it's still 2 cards that say,
But
I
theoretically
win.
possible. Okay.
There's a potential for scariness here. I just feel like, gamers are gonna game, and infinite combos, especially in eternal or semi-eternal formats, don't make me go ah. Now, if it's in standard, I would go, wait, hold on. Didn't we just finish banning cards?
Now,
Are we
I
not
do
done with
wanna-
that yet.
Point out that Splinter Twin was banned in Modern and still is.
Mm-hmm.
And this is easier. Just throwing
So-
that out there.
So, like I said, didn't we just finished banning things.
No. I don't think we're ever finished banning things anymore. I think that from what I've seen of this set, it's just as overpowered and stupid as Eldraine was, if not more so. So...
Feels like they're more willing to print high-powered cards lately. And now, I'm sure you, doing the news podcast, know that they've now changed it to basically say, we're going to ban things whenever we want. We're going to tell you when we think that's going to happen, but we're not holding ourselves to a scheduling. So...
Pretty much.
That's...
Yeah, because... And I understand that, because you get more exciting designs when you're more willing to say, hey, what happens when I do this?
Yes, but unfortunately you also have people paying real dollars, real currency on cards, now with a greater chance of their investment being at risk. So, like, new card comes out. It's really powerful. You feel like it's going to be the cornerstone of the new format. Feels riskier than it used to.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we're not here to talk about finance. We're talking about Heliod, and Heliod seems pretty awesome. Aside from shenanigans with cards outside of this set, I mean, this just seems like a lot of value. All you need is any way to gain life, and because he gives the ability to another creature, all you have to have is another creature, and you're pumping things, you're gaining life. I mean, this just feels pretty good. From a limited perspective, this is 100% a slam dunk. I don't know constructed too well these days, but this feels pretty good too. And definitely a good build around for Commander or Brawl. So check, and check again. Have we seen Thassa? Is Thassa here? I don't see Thassa.
Oh,
No.
we've not seen Thassa yet.
Okay. So next one is Erebos, and I'm not sneezing, so I'll talk about Erebos, unless Chewie wants to because he's just so black.
That's racist.
Okay. Erebos, Bleak-Hearted, for 3 and a black. He's a 5/6, indestructible. What size was Heliod? 5/5. So he's got extra point of toughness, so he costs 1 more. Indestructible. He has the devotion to black is less than 5. He isn't a creature. Yada, yada, yada. Whenever another creature you control dies, you may pay 2 life. If you do, draw a card. Okay, so it's like the Reaper guy, but you can choose whether or not to do it. Okay. 1 and a black. Sacrifice another creature. Target creature gets -2/-1 until end of turn. So it loses unholy strength. It's unholy weakness.
Yeah, weakness, yeah. That's the card that did that originally.
It's gotta be yeah, so sack outlet in black, card draw, and when you sack the creature, you give something else weakness, you're killing stuff off. I mean, feels pretty good.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I don't, desperately love it, but I like it. It's not as nuts as Heliod, I don't think.
I don't feel like it is, especially for a mana more, but never underestimate the words draw a card. So, and it doesn't say non-token creature. So, there are ways to make this kind of silly. Side note, I love the crown molding with the starry background. Just
Oh, yeah.
just mwah. Just
Yeah,
great.
let's go look
Well
at
done.
Heliod again.
Well done design.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty.
And I'm not even looking at the alternates, the variants. So, okay. Had we seen Perforos?
Oh,
yet?
my God, Perforos. All right, are you guys ready? Listen to this. For
Okay.
4 and red.
Ooh, that's expensive.
Of course, he's a legendary enchantment creature god. He's indestructible. He does the have to have devotion to red as 5 to make him a creature. He's a 7/6.
Okay.
Other creatures you control have haste. For 2 and a red, sneak attack.
Wait, what?
You may put a
What?
red creature card or an artifact creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step.
Okay, so it specifies red creature.
Yes.
Yeah, red art. So thankfully it's
That is
Control.
not insignificant.
mhm.
You cannot Emrakul. You cannot Perforos out. Is that what we're going to be using now? This line. We cannot Perforos out an Emrakul. But or an artifact creature like Wormcoil Engine or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sneak attack. Once it's on the field, do you pay 1 or do you pay 4 to
It's
activate?
just
it?
one.
Yeah. Well, sneak attack is wrong. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This feels good. I feel like this feels possibly dangerous. You know what creatures are in red? Dragons. And it gives other creatures haste, so you don't even have to have that verbiage in this ability.
Yeah.
Mhm.
'Cause he's already giving it to him. So, whereas I kind of like Heliod and Erebos's static abilities, the always on abilities a little better, drawing cards or pumping up your guys. But I mean, Mass Hysteria is great, but Mass Hysteria also costs 1, or the only you creatures you control cost like 3. So this feels expensive for that, but this other ability is just yeah.
Well, and something else with the sneak attack is, well, you're losing a creature, but we also have escape in this set.
Also true.
Yup.
Also
Especially
true.
with some other cards that we're going to talk about a little bit later.
So,
And-
what's better than just chucking something into the graveyard for escape purposes? Hitting someone in the face first and then chucking it into the graveyard.
or if there's something else that you're using to get to it that you're escaping, this puts other creatures into your battlefield to use as fuel for escape.
Yeah,
Into your graveyard?
What'd I say?
battlefield.
You get on the battlefield and then it goes to your graveyard to use either to escape it or to help something else escape.
I like the way Brian took exactly what I said and somehow made it longer and more confusing.
Yes, I like from. I'm thinking about this from a flavor perspective. I actually really like the artifact clause here because that's tied into his identity. Because his whole thing is he's a smith.
Yeah, he's
So-
Hephaestus.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, this one seems like one to look out for.
Yeah, I loved the previous Perforos. I absolutely love this Perforos.
I remember when the previous Perforos came out, I thought, wow, this is the one that everybody's going to play. And it actually didn't see that much, but it's still really good. This feels like they're like, all right, we want to make sure Perforos sees some love. So,
I
All right.
hope that there's some sort of big red deck for him, but I always hope there's a big red deck. Thanks for that,
Mike will
Mike.
build it. Mike will build it whether it's there or not.
I'll see what I can do. I mean, there's another card very close to him that I'm like, ooh, that'll help make that work. We'll get to that later.
All right. Well, there's
All right.
one more god, right? And it's green, I'd assume.
Yeah.
Yep. Nylia, keen-eyed for 3 and a green. She is a 5/6 legendary enchantment creature god that's mythic with indestructible, blah, blah, blah about. Devotion to green is less than 5, isn't a creature. All right, comes the 2 abilities. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast.
That seems pretty good.
It's a Helm of Awakening for
What
you.
if?
And then the last one is for 2 and a green. Reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it into the graveyard. May put it into the graveyard.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, you can keep it on top of the library if it's a non-creature card. If it's a creature card, it has to
So
go
that's-
to your hand.
That sort of feels like it's like a modified scry. Obviously, I mean, it's nothing that we haven't seen before and all, but
I like this one. Making your creatures cost one less is not insignificant, especially in green.
yeah.
And it also doesn't say your green creatures. So,
So if
your
you splash
artifact
with some other
creatures,
color,
yeah, or your artifact creatures, your cheap ones are getting closer to free, which is always interesting. Luckily, all of the gods are legendary, so can't have more than one of this out.
but what's nice is if you know, don't care about legacy or was it standard and all that sort of stuff, you could have two of each. You have your two Nylea god cards out at the same time, and have lots of fun.
That's pretty funny. New Nylea looks at old Nylea and goes, "You look familiar." The other one's like, "Nah."
Put them back to back. Put them so one shooting to the left, the other shooting to the right.
So let's
Cool.
see.
I like those.
There is one more god that's been shown,
Okay.
and it's Clothis.
Clothis.
Clothis?
That name doesn't sound familiar.
Well, no.
Because that's the one that took the satyrs.
That's right. I remember we
Gods.
talked about this with Clothis's design, where we said that, we're going to see new and different gods this time. So, you said she took Xenagos' place, so she's red and green?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, here she is.
Whoa, what'd she do then, Brian?
Clothis, god of destiny, for 1, a red and a green. So she costs 3, like Heliod. For a 4/5, indestructible. As long as your devotion to red and green is less than 7, Clothis isn't a creature, which I think matches up with the multicolored devotion gods before, right? So
Right.
she doesn't. She only has one more ability. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, exile target card from a graveyard. You must do this. It doesn't say may. If it was a land card, wait, why does this feel familiar? If there's a land card, add a red or green. Otherwise, you gain 2 life, and Clothes deals 2 damage to each opponent. Black green hybrid. Banned, like in modern, right? The stupid
Deathrite Shaman?
Deathrite Shaman, but Deathrite God? Kind of, sorta?
Yeah,
Also-
sort of.
So you have to exile a card from a graveyard, including your own. So this feels like the no escaping for anybody kind of thing. Also shuts down all sorts of shenanigans. The mechanic from Is It in the latest Ravnica set, the one where you can get it back. Jumpstart. Yeah, I was going to say not flashback. Jumpstart,
That was probably its playtest name.
This only costs 3, and it can also get you mana and 2 damage to each opponent.
I feel like this card is going to be a big card, and I say that because exile target card from a graveyard.
Yeah.
Meaning that you can target the things like, say, we've been talking about with Porphyros being able to, like with the escape. Yeah, whatever his face's name is. The escape mechanic, you can target the escape ones and be like, no, they're not escaping.
Now, keep in mind, this triggers
In the
every turn.
recombat,
So if you have a card in your graveyard and there's no other targets, you have to exile the one from your graveyard. But you get you get a bonus either way. It's either a land
it's like, oh darn, I hit my opponent for damage.
Yeah. I mean, it's either a land or it's not. This is never one of those things where something's not going to fit into one of these two categories. So, yeah, I mean, what do you think, Chewie? I feel like this is pretty good. I don't know if it's like, oh, wow, this is the all-star of the set, but this feels pretty good.
Yeah,
What do you think?
It seems pretty nuts.
Where was she when, Xenagos was
was doing his nonsense? Well, she's the god of destiny, so she was sitting back and just letting his destiny unfold. Like, I know what's coming. I'll take a quick nap.
She exiles card. Do you think she's
That makes sense, actually.
Is she now active because more people are getting out of the underworld, and she's like, you know what? No, I'm not cool with this. Because I mean, the returned escaped. Maybe not all the time, but they weren't uncommon to see around. But, or is it the way that things are escaping now is different? Like people are maybe actually coming back whole or whatever. I don't know. We'll have to pay attention to the story. Cool. So those are the gods.
Oh, Stark has just dropped a thing. Stark, is that from the story page thing? I bet it is.
I thought I read that. Maybe I didn't read it closely enough. Or thoroughly enough to retain it.
Apparently it's not on her. Oh, it's from the MTG Wiki. Well, let's see.
Okay.
What does the story page say? Clothis, the god of destiny. The god of destiny, Clothis, does not appreciate those who would manipulate fate, and her response is swift and final. If a certain someone were to attempt to escape the underworld, Clothis would do everything in her power to stop them. So I wonder where that quote that Stark threw at us came from. It didn't come from here. Oh well. So what Stark said, that came from the MTG Wiki, says, Clothis emerged from the underworld after Xenagos had died. Her escape after eons in the underworld has far-reaching consequences. Not the least the fact that the veil between the underworld and the overworld has begun leaking. Whoop! Better get you some painter's tape or something, plumber's tape or something. All kinds of things hidden in the underworld return to the world of the living. However, she does not appreciate those who would manipulate fate, and her response is often swift and final.
So
Yeah, wait a
she
minute.
She got out of the underworld, and nobody else can.
Yeah, JD Phoenix's thing sounds kind of hypocritical if you ask me. And I was like, yeah, wait a minute.
It took me a second. Yeah. In that sentence, I'm reading it. Her escape after aeons in the underworld has far reached. So it's this god's Clothies. It's her escape from the underworld that's causing all this mess.
Possibly. We don't know if it's
not
her fault
Elspeth
or if
at
she
all.
just took advantage of it. Oh, Stark pointed out, she's a Greek god. They're the worst. Accurate.
Yeah.
Very accurate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But going back to the card, I think this card is nuts. Because, like, fast mana. Oh, so it's Graveyard Disruption.
Yeah.
Or, well, and either fast
and.
mana or a 4-point life swing. Like, in a one-on-one game.
Yes, and in multiplayer, it's our good old fashioned. Now it's not gonna. You don't gain 2 life for each. It's not a.
It's not a Siphon Soul. Yeah.
They don't do Siphon Soul anymore.
No, because that's dumb in multiplayer, and they've realized that multiplayer is a thing.
Yes. Between Commander and Brawl and all the other stuff, they're like, yeah.
Yeah. But plus occasionally she turns into a 4/5 to hit people with. Like, yeah.
A 45 indestructible. So
Yeah, I'm good. Let's go. She costs 3. This card is nuts.
So
Now, there was some discussion when she was revealed in the Discord server that said, why is this card red and green? And I looked at it, and my first thought was, it's totally red and green.
yeah, what about this isn't red and green?
Well, because it also works completely. You could totally make this a black and white card, and no one would notice.
You'd have to change the
Mana
damage
production
to
would be a little
life
bit
law.
off.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like this is a better fit on a red and green.
Oh wait, no, not black and white. I'm sorry. Black and green.
Black and green.
Without changing anything but a mana symbol. And
Yeah, like Brian said, the Deathray Shaman.
Or change the damage to life loss, probably.
I mean, not
Functionally, it works
necessarily.
Yeah, that's
exactly
just
the
a
same.
tiny detail.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because, like, the idea of destiny and being okay with that is much more green than it is red, color pie wise. I'd say that that's one of the major point. That's one of the points of disagreement between green and red on that idea of destiny. So
Yeah.
that's a little. It took me some thinking to really, well, okay, fine, to be okay
I
with
mean,
that concept, but design wise, it's a red and green card.
I mean, what is destiny? Destiny is the roadmap for your life and for basically the life of everyone on the planet, right? Or the world. That's what destiny is. And that means essentially letting nature take its course. Blue would be like the anti-destiny because it's all about, well, how do we change the rules? How do we focus on why the world works and make it work the way we want it to? And black is actually very anti-destiny as well because it is, well, I don't want what I either want what life has in store for me and I'm going to make sure I get the most out of it, or I am going to do the best I can for my own self-advancement regardless of who I hurt, regardless of what I'm supposed to do. So white's version of destiny as opposed to green's would be much more like follow the rules, but green's destiny is you just follow the rules of the world, right? So yeah, this is, I mean, red green makes total sense for destiny.
I was just talking mechanically, but I'm glad we had all that discussion about the flavor side of things too.
Yeah, well,
it's delicious.
Yeah, but red, like black, is very much an I want to do what I want to do attitude.
Yeah, destiny is probably more of a green concept than a red, but red is still like, red's very impulsive, so red is less likely to have a great big plan. It's gonna be more along, this is the situation in front of me right now, this is what I'm gonna do about it. So yeah, card's great. So what do we want to talk about next? Are there any other mythic cards other than the gods?
I don't know. That's as far as I got.
One.
There's a red
The Ox of Aganos.
Oh God, the Ox! Jesus, yeah. Somebody read the Ox. This card is stupid.
For 3 and 2 red, it's a mythic 4/2 Ox. When Ox of Argonos enters the battlefield, discard your hand, then draw 3 cards. It has escape of 2 red, exile 8 other cards from your graveyard. Ox of Argonos escapes with a +1/+1 counter on it.
Its escape is only 2 red and 8 other cards, but it helps you get there the first time that you play it because you're having that mini Wheel of Fate, Fortune, Fantasy, whatever it is, the wheel effect.
The Wheel of Fate, Fortune, and Fantasy. I would watch that show, but it would probably not come on until after 11.
It could be like middle of the day, like Days of Your Afterlife or something like that. So you can't really cheat this out on turn 2 without the weirdest hijinks, like the weirdest stuff. But I do like the fact that later in the game it's a lot easier. I tend to like Wheel of Thing effects myself anyway, so art.
It could be sneak attacked in.
They could be sneak attacked in. Or Perforos in. Like, look, I made an Ox.
And then it could escape for 2 red. And become a 5/3.
With haste.
But would make you discard your hand when you did that.
Yeah, but then you draw 3 cards. It's fine.
It's a weird card, isn't it?
Once it escapes, yes, so it would enter the battlefield, so you would end up discarding that hand and drawing 3 new cards.
Correct. And if you're only...
Unless you played them first,
Well,
But you're going to draw 3 cards no matter how many cards you discard.
Right.
You guys are focusing on the discard. I'm focusing on the, what's it called? Ancestral something.
Well, we're looking at the
Ancestral Ox.
Ancestral Ox.
We're looking at the escape requires you exiling 8 other cards.
Dishonor on you. Dishonor your
Dishonor
family,
on
dishonor on
your ox. But like, yeah, I'm with Brian on this. You're drawing 3 cards, and then like, let's say this is in some sort of aggro deck. Having 8 cards in your graveyard is not gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, start to set. I wonder if this is good in burn. I think that's where it's best, because you're just throwing spells in the graveyard by bouncing them off your opponent's head, and then you're like, Ox, and you discard like your 1 card. And you draw 3 cards. And now look, you've got 3 more burn spells.
And then you run your Ox into something and get it back and draw more cards.
Yeah.
What was that red demon? Did it have Delve, or was its cost just reduced for the number of instances and sorceries in your graveyard?
Red Demon.
Yeah, or Devil or something. That also had this ability, discard and draw 3. But it was like a base 4/5. It cost like 6 and 2 red, and it had some kind of cost reduction thing. Bedlam Reveler, JD Phoenix, put it in chat.
Oh, okay. Bedlam
Reveler
Reveler
was good.
Was good in burn. It's still played in... Is it modern burn? Maybe it's not burn. It's played in something that we talk about on Monday Night Magic all the time, so...
Does it also have prowess? I don't remember.
The hell, I don't know. Look it up. You've got the internet right there.
Fine.
No such thing as hypothetical question in the age of the internet.
Right?
Yep. Okay. Should we talk about the sagas that we have? I think we talked about the red one, because that one was known at the time.
Did you find it, Mike? Did we lose Mike?
Yeah, I'm just opening another web page here, so my internet connection freaks out.
Oh, okay. You're killing me, Mike.
That doesn't gather. I didn't even hear the question. I mean, whatever you guys are trying to ask me, I obviously didn't hear it, so you should ask it again.
Oh, the question was, did you get it? But no, you didn't.
No, I didn't. I think, I opened up the wrong page, too. This isn't Gatherer.
Somehow, between Mike's mouse and Mike's keyboard, they both just do their own thing. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, the one we talked about was the red one, right?
Yes.
As far as sagas go.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start at the top.
Okay.
I really like the birth of, how do you say that?
Melitus.
Melitus. That's the city. Yeah. Well, if you like it so much, what to do?
Yeah, it's nice and simple. For 1 and a white, it's an uncommon saga. Chapter 1, search your library for a basic plains card, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle your library.
So it says specifically basic, so no...
Yeah, basic plains.
Yeah.
So
no
not...
Sacred Foundries.
Not basic land, and also no Sacred Foundries or the like, yeah.
Okay, got it.
So that's very much a white mana search thing. Not unheard of.
No.
Chapter 2. You get a 0/4 wall token with Defender. It's an artifact creature.
So we're literally building the city now.
Yeah. And then,
I like it.
Chapter 3, you gain 2 life. Nice and simple.
Yeah.
For 2 mana, I would hope it doesn't do insane crazy things. This is go get a plains, get a Defender, gain 2 life.
Yeah.
Nice.
2 mana uncommon.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's perfectly fine.
Oh, Squee said Reveler is in the Mardu Pyromancer deck in Modern. I knew it was in something in Modern that we talk about all the time.
I got the power and toughness wrong. It's a 3/4.
I mean, 3/4, 4/5, whatever.
Yeah.
And what is it? Does it have prowess? I don't even remember.
It does have prowess.
Okay. So it's a 4/5 anyway.
Most of the time, yeah.
So yeah, Birth of Balance is nice and simple. Very effective. I like it. Surely no one's going to bother wasting an enchantment removal spell on this. Surely. All
'Cause
right.
They really don't want you to get that wall.
Yeah. No, don't gain 2 life. What? All right. We have no blue gods and we have no blue sagas.
Sagas.
We
Is there
have-
a black saga?
There is.
Oh God, what is that? What is that? What am I? Timoret calls the dead. Timoret. Is Timoret? Is
The Murder King.
Timoret was the murder king. He's the king of the murder capital, where they murder for capital.
He's the zombie lord guy. So he calls the dead. So this isn't literally like calling them up. This is literally like, hey, you dead. You know, like.
And the dads are like, "What's up?"
Dead's like, bring out your dead. He's calling an assembly, basically, right? Are those the masks? Are they making a Trojan map? What is happening? Is that kind of some?
Big old statue made out of masks.
He's like, no, that's not what I meant by phalanx position. But you know, they're like, we thought you meant phalanx. You know, like the guy. Anyway, so Timoret calls the dead. This is a rare one for 2 and a black. Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard, Mike. Then you may exile a creature or enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, you get a 2/2 black zombie creature token, no other ability. So it's that standard 2/2 zombie. Chapter 3, you gain X life and scry X, where X is the number of zombies you control. Doesn't say zombie tokens. Black likes its zombies. So you're probably going to have at least 1 or 2 from this own card. But if you're playing a zombie deck, I mean, you know, nothing says it has to be zombies from this. So, and gain X life and scry X. Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm liking this giant metal man, although terrified at the same time. It's one where I can like play the card without looking at it.
Like, what's the ideal number for Chapter 3?
Upwards of 3, I think.
I'm thinking like 3 or 4 is the sweet spot.
Yeah.
You know who's a zombie? Gary.
Yeah, he is. He's uncommon now.
He's uncommon, which is for the best. I remember going to a draft with Mike at Lucky's and winning the draft because I got 3 Garys and Gray Merchant of Asphodel. That was the only thing I needed to do. It didn't almost even matter what else was in the deck. Gray Merchant of Asphodel, for those that aren't familiar with it, for 3 and 2 black, it's a 2/4 zombie. It's uncommon this time. It used to be common. Be grateful. When Gray Merchant of Asphodel enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, where X is your devotion to black. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. Oh, weren't we just saying they don't do that anymore? Never mind. I guess I was thinking in terms of drafts because that's where I tended to play this guy. Anyone that feels like, I get it, I think this is okay, no. Of course, now we don't have the rat. We don't have the rat of duplication, the swarming rat of something. The stupid rat from Raven.
Rat Marignos.
The swarming rat of duplication.
Packed rat.
Pack rat, yeah.
Packed rat, not packed. Like demon pack. Although you feel like you are making a pact with someone very bad when you play it. But
I'm okay.
If your devotion to black, including this guy, is 4, you have 2 other 1-drops or something else with a black, 2 other things with black, and you play this guy, you're draining everybody for 4. That is, with one opponent, that's an 8-point life swing. When you play the first one, this guy was played in Constructed, a common, which that happens, but not a whole lot. This was played in Standard, and it murdered people. More than the Murder King did, a lot more. Murder King's like, oh, I wish I could, you know. So he's a zombie. I bring out here because I saw him and I was like, that looks like him. And I'm reading him like, Yeah, I know what he does. It's got different art, but I know what he does.
Yeah, this was
But
our
he's
Christmas present, by the way, for anyone that missed it. This was the card they showed us on Christmas.
The present part is that they upped the rarity. Can I re-gift this? I don't know. I just feel like he tends to be the focus of the limited environment. Maybe it'll be different this time.
Well, this time he's not common, so it'll be fine. Because before he was common, and that's stupid.
It was stupid. I reserve the right to get really mad though at that one guy that opens like 2.
Yeah, somehow manages to draft like it was a common. You're like, come on, man!
Yeah.
He's like, a 3-0'd. Yeah, you think? Anyway. Good old Gary. Alright, so there's one more, right? Yeah, there's one more saga. Saga!
One. Binding of the Titan.
Saga.
So, for 1 and a green, the first one, each player puts the top 3 cards of their library into their graveyard.
And Mike goes, thank you.
Yeah.
The second part, exile up to 2 target cards from graveyards. For each creature card exiled this way, you gain 1 life.
Okay.
Doesn't say your graveyard.
Right.
Nope.
And it doesn't
And
say
then
the same graveyard. It says from graveyards.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So in the third one, return target creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It's not like... I don't like it as much as the Birth of Meletis, as far as the Uncommon Saga thing goes, but that's pretty good for 2 mana.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Anything that gets you more value, right? So, and it feels nice and green.
I should hope so.
Now, in the art, is that Clothis doing the binding, or is Clothis one of the ones being bound? I can't tell from here.
I feel like she's binding.
It looks
in
like she might be
art.
doing the binding.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that would make sense to me from her role.
Know your role. Shut
Hey,
your mouth.
Chewie, what do you think of that spider next to it?
Man, that's
Like-
not even the bad one.
That's not the bad one? Okay. Well,
Yeah,
this one,
This is the Chainweb Arachneer. Spelled not the way you'd think. The first time
Hey,
I
it's
saw this
got
card,
chains.
I thought it was a foreign card that we hadn't seen the translated version yet, because that does not look like a word I've ever seen before, and you'd think they'd leave the H in it.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, it's Aracnir.
Arach-
But I think is this like a spider person? Does that, because it looks like it has arms, like arms.
Well, think
You're
about
right.
Arachnid. In Arachnid was a seamstress who
Arachne.
Arachne.
Arachne
Yeah.
Arachne was a seamstress who challenged Athena and to a sewing contest. Is that sewing? Like
Yeah,
what's the word I'm
it
looking
was
for?
weaving. Yeah, they were weaving.
Weaving.
tapestries.
Thank you. And Greek gods are just the worst.
Yeah,
Especially when
because
it comes to
Arachne
using-
won, so she got turned into a spider.
Here's your prize.
But anyway, so the Chainweb Arachneer for a green, single green, is an uncommon 1/2 spider with reach. When it enters the battlefield, it deals damage equal to its power to target creature with flying an opponent controls. Nice and simple. Its escape is 3 green and exile 4 other cards. And it escapes with 3 +1/+1 counters.
3.
Yeah. So it escapes and punches something for 4 with something that flies. Because it has chain webs.
So you play this early, and then when it dies, you get it back and it becomes humongous. and punches something.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we fooled around long enough. We have to go look at the artifact here.
Okay. Oh, there's one artifact. Does that say Lotus? What have they done?
You'll see.
Okay. I'm nervous.
All right, read it out loud, Brian. Go ahead.
For 4 mana. Okay, so maybe it's more like Gilded Lotus. For 4 mana. So legendary artifact. Okay, I'm liking it so far. It's rare. It enters the battlefield tapped. Tap, choose a color, add an amount of mana of that color equal to your devotion to that color. It doesn't sacrifice itself.
Correct.
And it's a... Is that a Nykthos?
Yeah, basically,
But-
except it costs mana. So
But yes, okay. So it costs mana. It's not a land, and you can't use it the turn it comes in. But Nykthos requires you to pay 2, and
That's
then tap
correct.
it. This doesn't do that. My brain is like twitching a little bit, which it's not supposed to do that. Obviously, I think they probably consider this the safe version of Nykthos. Also, Nykthos wasn't legendary, was it?
I thought it was.
And I thought you could have more than one. Regardless, I mean, one is all you needed. But so you can't untap this with untap land effects. But I think there's ways to untap artifacts. I think. I mean, I think they've printed those before, right?
Yeah.
I'm being
Nykthos-
sarcastic. There's a million. Nykthos was what?
It is legendary.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my brain is okay. So you're paying 4, and it comes in tapped. So it's probably safe, but you're gonna get a bajillion mana out of it, and there are a million ways to untap artifacts. So I need to sit down. I'm already sitting down. I still need to sit down. I have to puzzle this. What do you guys think? I get nervous with lotuses.
This feels like it get out of hand really fast.
Yeah.
Chewie?
Yeah, I mean, the larger upfront cost and the fact that it comes in tapped means it won't start. You can't get the shenanigans rolling as quickly. But once you do, I agree. Wow.
All right then.
Will not work in an artifact deck.
No, it will not work in a mono artifact deck. There is that to consider.
So yeah, that's fun. We have allied colored temples.
Yes. Which I didn't even realize we didn't get them. I feel like we have other temples in standard, right? But it was only the enemy ones.
Are there temples in standard right now? I don't even know what's in standard right now, honestly.
I
I thought there were like in the M20 set, didn't they have the enemy colored ones?
think so.
And we have Field of Ruin back.
Hey, I like Field of Ruin.
It's a fixed question mark. What's the word? Wasteland.
Still really powerful though.
Oh yeah. We have our sweet Nyx lands. All right. So now what?
I guess other things that pop out at you.
Yeah,
What is
hell
this?
yeah.
What is this Warden of the Chained?
I don't know what color is it.
It's gold. It's right above the Lotus.
Oh, gold.
One, a red and a green. It's a Minotaur Warrior. It's uncommon. It's a 4/4 for 3 mana with Trample. Oh, it does have a drawback. It can't attack unless you control another creature with power 4 or greater. They printed a card with a drawback.
What?
But, I mean,
It's not the kind of drawback that hurts you.
No, it's not like it punches you in the face.
Yeah.
But I mean, I kind of like this, and it can block all day long. So
Check out the art
Yeah.
on this card, though.
it's clearly like a disciple of Clothos, the goddess of destiny, right?
Vince Clortho. The Keymaster.
He is Clortho.
Huh?
Ah. You were like insects before.
Wait. Who likes dogs?
I
I
do.
do.
Okay, Dirk. Did you see the dog?
The puppy dog.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
What color is it in?
Gold.
Right beside of Clothes,
Oh,
diagonal to the one you were talking about.
it's a legendary Cerberus.
Mm-hmm. Kenoros, Hound of Athreos. For 1 white black. It is a legendary hound that's rare and is a 3/3 with, alright, say it with me, Vigilance,
Woof.
Menace,
Woof.
Lifelink.
Yipe, yipe, yipe.
And that's not all. Creature cards in graveyards can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from graveyards.
Oh, so he's actually like the warden, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, Gothic just said the black white puppy is flavorful gold. And yeah, because so there's 3 heads, so there's 3 abilities.
Right.
So you have to somehow get to the one with lifelink to lick your face without letting the one with menace eat your face first. The one with vigilance is just constantly barking, so whatever. And then it guards the graveyard to keep the dead and other stuff in there. That's so cool.
I like it. Very
Plus,
on point.
he's a good boy. And he's a good boy, and he's a scary but good boy. So is this card a good boy, or is it a good boys?
I feel like it's a good boy.
Very good
I
one.
think I'm gonna let Dirk feed him when he goes outside. Dirk, have you fed the dog yet?
Nope.
I'm not doing it. So
I like this
for
card.
3 mana, it's a 3/3 with
Word salad.
three really good evergreen abilities. And the conditional, no hijinks kind of stuff,
Yeah.
And it's legendary. So, Commander Ho.
This isn't quite commander material as a commander, but
Why not?
Because
his abilities just say, "Hey, stop doing that specific thing."
yeah.
Yeah, I can see running him out on there, and he's got vigilance and menace and lifelink. This may be one to actually get to 21 with.
That's true. You could Voltron it up if you wanted to go that way.
Keep in mind, in our play group, when is the last time anyone died to commander damage ever? Oh, wait.
That's a good point.
So, doesn't mean that's, I'm just pointing out that from our perspective, we don't always tend to think of the aggro route. But here, that could apply pretty well.
I don't think he's commander material.
Challenge accepted.
I was gonna say it's possible.
It's possible because he's a black-white legendary creature. You can build a black-white deck that does whatever and just have him as your commander. I'm just saying he's not a good... I don't want to do a story circle around this guy at all. And
he does not lend himself
Right.
to he's not like a Johnny-tastic, wow, this allows you to play the game in a completely different way. I get
No,
that.
it'd be like building an Isamaru deck. It's just there to be a cheap creature to pile a lot of auras and equipment on top of and go smack people with.
yeah.
And every now and then, that's all you want to do.
Let's see what else we have here. We do have a legendary satyr here who looks like she's having entirely too much fun.
So I was hoping that maybe after the whole Xenagos thing, some of the satyrs would get a less genocidal take, because there were some decent satyrs in Theros, and they don't all deserve to get dragged down with him because he is legitimately crazy. Like Xenagos was nuts. So, is this maybe the new de facto leader of the satyrs?
Seems that way.
I don't think. Were there any? What, did he turn the satyrs murderous or something? Did I miss that part?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, he was the king of the satyrs, and he basically used them and their proclivity for rebels to fuel his own ascension.
Yeah, but then did he like point them at people and be like, "Go kill everybody" or something? Like
The Theros novel, after the prologue, essentially opens with Elspeth fending off crazed, exploding satyrs. So yes.
Huh. All right, then. Well, I haven't actually read this card, so I'm going to do it. Gallia of the Endless Dance. Look at her. She's a woohoo girl. Satyr. A woohoo satyr. Woohoo! She's like, I had some wine spritzers! Let's go! Anyway.
I love the fist pump. It just makes this card.
Right? So for a red and a green, she's a 2/2 legendary creature, satyr, who is rare. She has haste, because of course she does. Other satyrs you control get +1/+1 and have haste. Ooh. And whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, you may discard a card at random. If you do, draw 2 cards. Whoa, she's pretty cool.
She's a 2-drop too.
And her
Look
flavor
at that flavor
text.
text.
There's no success like excess. Woo!
Okay, I don't want this to sound bad or stereotypical, but ultimate sorority girl.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
just-
totally.
I mean, it fits. This is Greek, right? So, but I mean, you see her, you read her abilities, you're like, okay, I get this. Satyrs, check. But even if you don't have satyrs, you want to attack, and then you throw away a card, but you don't get to pick what it is. No, that's not what this is about. This is a party. So throw it away, draw 2 cards. That's almost an ancestral what? Something? Yeah, something. I don't know.
Gothic said, endless safety dance. Because you can dance if you want to. And you can leave your friends behind. That's the card you discard at random. Stark said, oh god. The art and mechanics really combine to represent how smelling a satyr woman's armpit would cause you to lose a card and then draw 2. This is user on Reddit Alpha Strike and Lose rewarding Stark for still being subscribed to r/MagicTCG. You know, sometimes there are good things on there. I'm not sure that's one of them, but sometimes there are.
The poor guy was just going to bring some... He's like a waiter. He was bringing the food over. I had to lean in a little bit to look at that. He's like, do you want some fruit? She's like, do I want some fruit? Heck yeah, I want some fruit. Pineapple!
And then she puts him in a headlock and goes, woohoo! All right, we have a Murloc Artificer here.
Murloc?
Sorry, Merfolk. Damn it. Look at him. He
Somebody's
looks
like-
like a big Murloc.
Dalakos, Crafter of Wonders. Did I pronounce that correctly? Dalakos?
Sure. Yeah.
I think that one's probably how I'd say it.
For 1, a blue, and a red, he's Izzet colors. A legendary Merfolk Artificer. He's
That's the
rare.
word.
He's a 2/4. Tap, add 2 colorless mana, actual colorless mana. Spend this mana only to cast. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. So we've seen that kind of thing before. Hey, you can use it to power out a Lotus. Right. Equipped creatures you control have flying and haste.
That's pretty
Creatures-
cool.
That's weird.
I did not see that coming when I read the first part of the card and looked at the art.
Right.
But now
I
that
mean,
I'm looking at the art again, those are wings.
Yeah.
he's creating the wings. Like
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Icarus is dead.
Daedalus.
Daedalus, thank you.
Daedalus made for Icarus. So he's like, you get some wing. Here, you're holding a sword. Yeah, you get some wing. Flying in haste.
Hey, we're being hosted
We're being hosted.
by a person whose name I can't quite pronounce. Did that pop? Because I didn't hear it pop. I just looked over at the chat and saw it. But thank you for the host. Khalees LOL, maybe? I hope. Welcome new viewers. We are the Manipool. Hi. All right.
So we should keep talking then.
Yeah. We should not just pause and like stare at the chat and be like.
So Daedalus, and I like yes, equipping things good.
Yeah,
Doing
pretty cool.
haste and flying. I mean, just from you know me, I tend to go for either multiplayer or limited constructive. In limited, this feels like it, and I went out of nowhere because I had the equipment. I play a big guy, suited up, and now it has evasion and haste.
Could we name him Red Bull?
Because he gives you
wings.
Wings. Oh wow. His imagination soars from the depths of the sea to the heights of the heavens. So poetic. I think I like this one.
Yeah.
And it really is interesting because while the two abilities certainly go well together, because an equip cost is an activated ability of an artifact. Like you said, you read the first part, and I'm reading. I'm like, I've seen this ability. I don't even know how many times, but doing it with equipment in mind, while that first part is not constrained to that, that's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
And there's one more legendary creature in gold.
All right. Well, somebody take it. I have to mute.
Is there?
I'll go and grab it. So, Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths.
Oh.
For 2, a blue and a black. Make sure I get my colors right. Legendary creature, human advisor, that's a 3/2 with menace.
Ooh.
When Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths, enters the battlefield, target opponent looks at the top 3 cards of your library and separates them into a face-down pile and a face-up pile. Put one pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard.
I love it. You know how much I love. You know how much I love mind games, like the actual card, as well as just part of the politicking and some of the between randomness. And I love cards that do this sort of thing, like the green one that gets lands and the sorting into piles. I don't know, something about piles that just really appeals to me. Piles, but this you're like, okay, what are they not showing me? And I love them again. I love everything this card represents.
I think the pile thing for you, Brian, is sort of like the what's the Cons of Tarkir enchantments, where either this is what's happening or this is what's happening.
The sieges. Yeah. I see what you mean there. With the sieges, it's more about versatility. It's like, hey, what do I want to use this for this game? For this for me, it's more of the using unknown information.
Mm-hmm. Well, he definitely does that.
So the first card game I ever played other than like Uno and stuff like that, the actual first trading card game I ever played before I ever played Magic was the Star Wars collectible card game by Decipher. And one of the first cards I really liked was a card that essentially made your graveyard turn your graveyard face down, the graveyard in that game. And whenever a card would go there directly from your main deck, no one got to see it. And it was a very minor effect because in the end, it didn't affect the way that you played out your game because you're still drawing cards. But I loved it. I thought, wow, this is the best way because they don't know what they're losing. They don't know what resources they still have. And so I just really liked that. So I guess I'm gushing on about this card, but I like it.
Where we had Princess Leia meet somebody at the back door? When we didn't we do like a review of that card game or something like that?
We did. We played that.
Long ago.
Mike and I played it because we were the two that had played it before. We played it around a particular day of the year, and that episode was entitled Backdoor Shenanigans because Hardy Har, and Mike and I played that, yes. So, Atris, I like it, and it's a 3/2 with Menace, so it's not like it's useless once its ability resolved. So, I don't know how I feel about this Allure of the Unknown. I was reading this a minute ago, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. What do you think about it?
I mean, you get to draw 5 cards.
Oh, I should have known this was a Mike card. It's practically got a demon on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So 3, a black and a red. It's a rare sorcery. Reveal the top 6 cards of your library. An opponent exiles a non-land card from among them. Then you put the rest into your hand. That opponent may cast the exiled card without paying its mana cost.
This feels super dangerous.
It
I mean,
is.
you get to
just
draw
have to-
5.
Yeah. To reduce the risk on this, you have to reduce the risk on this, you have to build your deck in a particular way. So you don't have some big, amazing blam thing. You just have a lot of individually, oh, hey, this is good cards. So when you draw 5 of them and your opponent only gets 1, then you're fine.
Then you're fine. You know, this actually reminds me, I'm thinking about it. This actually reminds me of Original Jund because, okay, so they take like the one guy. I get, 2 Blightnings and another guy and maybe 2 lands.
Mm-hmm.
That feels pretty good. I can also see maybe doing this in multiplayer because maybe Mike is the big threat. So I'm like, hey, Dirk, I'm going to draw 5 and you get a free thing. And Dirk's like, sure. And maybe he makes it so that I still keep something that I need. He doesn't take something that I really need from that, but he still gets a benefit.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic if the 2 players doing it aren't the ones who have the advantage right now.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Is Chewie back yet?
I just unmuted.
All right.
Are we still on Allure of the Unknown, or did we just finish that?
We did
Just finished.
Atris. I love Atris.
Yeah.
Oracle of Half-Truths. And we just finished Oracle of the Allure of the Unknown. Do you have anything to say about either of those cards?
No.
All right, then. What is something you do have something to say?
I have no
about?
idea. But
Okay.
apparently, it's sometime in the next couple days, I'll be going to Martinez, Georgia.
Neat.
I guess. Let's see. How about the Nessian Boar?
Nessian Boar.
I thought the Nessian Boar was already on a card. I must be thinking of just something that talked about it in the flavor text.
Maybe?
Maybe it's like the Raised Boar, where you've seen it enough times that you're like, I get it. And then you're like, wait, no. Boar.
But see, you can be a big pig too. Yup. The Nessian Boar for 3 green is a rare boar. Imagine that.
Whoa.
All creatures able to block Nessian Boar do so.
Whoa.
And whenever Nessian Boar becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller draws a card. Huh.
You're burying the lead.
And it's a 10/6
There we go.
for 5 mana.
So I like it's flavorful. It's great because this is some kind of legendary. I mean, it's not legendary, but
Mythical is the word you're looking for.
it's some kind of mythical. Like this is something that the best hunters would go out to, hunt, right? So you send out your best warriors, and even if they get trampled in the meantime, they still get the honor or whatever. So you get to draw a card, and it's a 10/6, and it's got a lure. So it's going to destroy a lot of things. They're going to draw some cards, but all your other stuff is getting through. Green-white, pair this with Heliod. I'm done.
Huh.
You're welcome. Radio.
All right.
All of our brains just, are broken.
Well, because you can be a big pig too.
Oink, oink.
Yep.
Uh,
Let's see here. What else? Oh, we should talk about it. Mike, have you read Underworld Breach?
I have read Underworld Breach.
Mike, read us Underworld Breach.
Is it in
Underworld
black?
Breach.
It's in
No,
red.
it's in red.
Oh, just from the. Well, I guess in this set, Underworld's done a lot of stuff. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Underworld Breach is a rare enchantment that costs 1 and a red. Each non-land card in your graveyard has escape.
Huh.
The escape cost is equal to the card's mana cost, plus exile 3 other cards from your graveyard. At the beginning of the end step, sacrifice Underworld Breach.
Cool. So it represents a temporary fissure between the worlds,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's temporary, it's not like Underworld Gate. It's Underworld Breach, and then it gets sealed up again.
Right.
I like it.
Isn't this just a escaped version of Yawgmoth's something or other?
Yeah,
I
basically.
was gonna say the answer is yes. By the way.
I mean, this feels like this is the enchantment that uses or promotes the set's mechanic. So, what's funny is that if you play another Underworld Breach later, your original Underworld Breach has escape. It would still get sacrificed at the end of turn, but
Blight. This card's nuts, right?
Yeah, I mean,
non-land card.
adding 3 cards for the escape cost is a very, very important balancing factor.
It is.
Well,
Because
yeah.
otherwise, you could be like, and Underworld Breach, and I'm going to destroy you with Lava Spike.
Yeah.
Because instants and sorceries are non-land cards. This does not say permanence.
Yeah.
And
That's
actually,
pretty sweet. There's some.
I feel like wrath effects are some of the best uses for this card because you wrathed earlier, and then they built back up again, and now you're like Underworld Breach, Wrath, and they're like. I mean, literally, the possibilities with this are limitless. It's limited only to the literal cards in your graveyard, not even not just permanent. Again, this is so wide open. It's almost like where do you even start?
Mm-hmm.
Any scary thing you want to replay, extra turn effects, scary creatures, Mindslaver. Does Mindslaver exile itself?
No.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be
Okay.
surprised if, I read something not too long after the set releases about some some crazy little tournament, some crazy little vintage tournament where an Underworld Breach deck did very well.
Yeah, Mike, remember when we first read Fires of Invention, you're the one who said, this feels like a real card, and now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel a little proud of that.
Yeah. Also, you feeling all right? Because you're starting to get quiet.
I've been coughing more, so I've been muting more.
Oh, okay.
Do we need to be finishing up?
I mean, whatever. I'll live.
So, Mike, there was another card in red that you said you were looking at going, ooh, was it Underworld Breach?
No, it was for a big red, because you were talking about Perforos being part of a big red.
Right.
And I had my eye on Storm's Wrath.
Ah.
So for 2 red, it's a rare sorcery. Storm's Wrath deals 4 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. And
That's a pretty good sweeper.
The big red deck that I built way long time ago and loved. Slagstorm was a critical part of it.
Yeah, it was.
And how it was able to get by. Now, 4 mana is a lot different than 3 mana. But 4 damage is also a lot different than 3 damage. So.
Slagstorm or Flame Wave?
Slagstorm.
Flame Break. Okay.
Yeah, Flame Break was important too. But Slagstorm was also important because it could take out bigger stuff.
True.
And it could hit players and planeswalkers. Storm's Wrath can't hit players, but it can still take a big chunk out of a planeswalker.
Oh, yeah.
So I scrolled up a little bit, just kind of glancing through stuff, and the art on a particular blue card caught my eye. And this is really kind of interesting. This is the Nadir Kraken. Have you seen this?
Maybe?
Sorry, I thought you said Deer Kraken. I'm like, what the heck?
Nadir, and not Nadir. It starts out really small for a Kraken. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that struck me, I'm like, okay, I see the art and I see Kraken. I'm like, okay, but for 1 and 2 blue, it's a 2/3 Kraken. Got to be the world's smallest Kraken. It's rare. Now, whenever you draw a card, you may pay 1 generic mana. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on Nadir Kraken and create a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token. So it's getting bigger, but you're also getting... I can't think of how many RPGs where it's like, okay, you have the main octopus, kraken, creature, whatever, but then you have to fight all of the tentacles. And that's exactly what it reminded me of. Interestingly enough, if the kraken dies, the tentacles don't.
Yeah, I'm really glad that it doesn't have that, like, on it somewhere.
Did the tentacles die?
Like if this leaves play, you exile all your tentacles or whatever.
Yeah. I think since you have to pay for it, I feel like But yeah.
I think this has a for real vibe as well.
You think
I
so?
like this a lot. Yeah.
It comes
that's
down
really not
early.
much to ask at all to get creature tokens and grow your guy.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
All right, what else we got?
Dirk, what's something you see that you want to talk about?
Yeah, Dirk.
I think that's pretty much everything.
We've been through.
We talk about the harpy.
The harpy?
Harpy?
No, we didn't. The legendary harpy.
There's a legendary harpy?
Aphidemia.
Yeah.
The cacophony.
Ephemia the cacophony?
Yeah, there you go. Ephemia the cacophony. There you go.
Cacophony is like a series of, horrible sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a harpy. Oh, I get it.
Okay, I hadn't seen this card.
I hadn't either. What's it do, Dirk?
So for 1 and a black, it's a 2/1 legendary enchantment creature harpy that's rare with flying. And it says, at the beginning of your end step, you may exile an enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token.
She doesn't have a mana cost associated with that ability. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's pretty good.
You can use it right away.
It has to be an enchantment. It has to be your graveyard, but free zombies.
Free zombies.
And
that's not as good as free real estate, but it's close.
And that's, I guess, the advantage of having the enchantment as part of the creature type as well. Because that gives you more enchantment cards that you can exile.
Oh, just
I kept wondering why the enchantment creature thing kept showing up.
Well, because that's the thing on Theros.
Yeah. And it's a 2/1 flyer for 2.
Yeah, let's not forget that part. That's actually just good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I had not seen this card at all. Good call, Dirk.
Me either.
I also liked, where is it? The Woe Strider.
Whoa.
For 2 and a black, it's a 3/2 horror that is rare. When it enters the battlefield, you create a 0/1 white goat creature token. Oh god, are we going to sacrifice a goat? Sacrifice another creature, scry 1. We are going to sacrifice a goat and read its entrails. Yay. It escapes.
Sure, that would give us another ability.
Well, yeah, it escapes for 3 black and exile 4 other cards. So, okay, and it escapes with 2 +1/+1 counters on it.
And it brings a goat back from the underworld.
Zombie goat! Zombie goat! It's not a zombie goat, but
No.
it's a zombie goat.
Okay, it's not as... It's a bit more unusual these days that they give us a free sacrifice a creature cost.
Free sacrifice outlet, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a problem.
I mean, this is why this is a rare.
I can just smell that that's a problem.
God, it's a 5/4 when it escapes. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's a horror, it's not a zombie, but...
And it is a horror, too. Look at that. Buh.
So, Mike.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mike.
You of treacherous deals and demon packs and all that, what do you think of Treacherous Blessing? Are you going to kill yourself with Treacherous Blessing? Because I feel like you are.
No, I will find a way out of Treacherous Blessing.
I'm sure you'll try.
For 2 and a black, it's a rare enchantment. When Treacherous Blessing enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards.
Sick.
Yeah.
Hey, that's an ancestral something.
But whenever you cast a spell, you lose 1 life.
Oh, yeah.
That's a small problem. And black has this thing about not being able to get out from under its own enchantments, or just not being able to deal with enchantments. But whenever Treacherous Blessing becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. Now, you're still going to have to branch out of black to even be able to target this. But, when I first saw this, I thought back to Heliod. You can just gain some life and target it to put a +1/+1 counter on it, and then it evaporates.
Huh. So yes, if you get Heliod and this, and they go really well together.
Ooh, and then you can get rid of it with your harpy to turn it into a zombie.
Yes, you can. Someone else in chat pointed out how well the harpy works with Timuret Calls the Dead, which is yet another enchantment that makes more zombies and ends up in the graveyard eventually. And congratulations.
Oh,
Here's a
yeah.
deck.
Oh, yeah, and it was also pointed out that this keeps you from the last sacrifice thing on Treacherous Blessing, keeps you from bouncing it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That is a good point, yeah. So it keeps you from abusing it, but it also keeps it from just killing you.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Timuret Calls the Dead even makes you gain life, which triggers Heliod, which lets you evaporate the blessing. There we go. There's your deck right there. You can thank us later.
Or not. It's up to you, really.
Yeah. We're not your boss.
Hey, look, Idyllic Tutor was reprinted.
Yay.
Except this time, I think it will actually matter.
I like that art. Pretty cool.
That's because the art is amazing. But, like, I remember when they first printed Idyllic Tutor, Brian was like, this card is totally going to be a huge thing. And we were like, okay, Brian.
Yeah.
And then...
I put all my stock in that. And it didn't live up to my expectations.
But in this set, it's probably going to be pretty good. Maybe not like busted, but pretty good. Which of the gods is reaching out in this card? I don't know.
apparently one who isn't a huge jerk, so that narrows it down a bit.
Yeah, well, it's not Heliod then.
Maybe it's which one's the patron goddess of Melitus? The one that basically represents
the
civilization.
blue-white one?
Yeah.
No,
That was Mulatus.
She has gray stone statue hands.
So maybe this isn't supposed to be any one god that we know, but it's just a symbol of benevolent deity.
Possible.
You are loved, child.
The Reverent Hoplite is another card that made me stop and look at it. For
Okay,
4 and a
I hadn't read
white.
this
Yes.
Do what?
I hadn't read it yet, but go ahead.
For 4 and a white, it's a 1/2 uncommon human soldier. It enters the battle. When it enters the battlefield, you create a number of 1/1 soldiers equal to your devotion to white.
Whoa, that's Okay.
Yeah.
so instead of is every color getting a Gary? And I mean, I don't say that of course everything is going to have things that care about devotion, but are they pushing the power level of some of these things? So instead of being okay, he's the only one, we're gonna have stupid stuff everywhere.
I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted to balance it out a bit more. Like in original Theros block, some colors had much more to do with devotion than the others.
It's true.
Like I can only think of one white devotion card, period.
Which one's that?
It was some damage redirection spell. And I can't remember what it was called.
There you go.
Like I remember at the time there were white devotion decks, but it was really just, Nykthos was the one devotion card in the deck.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're spreading it out a bit more to give some of the colors who didn't do as much devotion stuff more to do.
Cool.
So aside from the sagas, are there any cycles going on in this set so far?
Probably.
It's hard to tell. Looks like there's some things that could be part of a cycle, like Eidolon of Philosophy looks like it could be part of a common cycle.
But we
'cause they've
don't
done stuff
see
like this before.
But we haven't seen the rest yet.
No, we haven't
so-
seen any of the others if they even exist. So that's just a big old guess from me.
It
Yeah.
could be that the Gray Merchant and the Reverend Hoplite are a cycle at Uncommon of
Yeah.
do something, but we don't have any others to really judge it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, there really aren't enough cards revealed in the card image gallery right now to.
Oh yeah,
get as much to
there's
say
the
about that.
Setessan Petitioner in green. One
Okay.
green
Oh, yeah.
for a 2/2 human druid. When it enters the battlefield, gain life equal to your devotion to green.
oh, that's interesting.
So,
Yeah, seems promising.
looks like
Now,
that
when we-
is another piece of a whatever word cycle.
Cycle.
Now, when we come back next week, if they are going by the usual schedule, I could probably look this up because there was an article about where to find the previews. But I believe when we come back next week to record, they should have the full image gallery up. Where to find Theros Beyond?
Possibly.
Or close to it.
Yeah, it'll either be up
Before we record or the Friday after?
or the next day. Yeah.
Because that's how our luck usually rolls.
The last day that it says that there will be previews is January 9th, which is next Thursday. So
Which means it'll go up on Friday. Yeah.
probably.
So I'm just showing the some of the variants real quick while there's a pause in talking about cards. The alternate art for the gods is really sweet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the constellation thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That is pretty.
So there is, okay, wait. No, there's one more card here that we need to talk about just normally. I think we need to hit the Storm Herald real quick
Okay.
in red.
Storm Howard.
Storm Howard, yeah. That's one of Ron Howard's kids. You know how it is. So who wants to read that?
I haven't read it yet, so I'll do it now. For 2 in a red, it is a rare 3/2 human shaman with haste. So 3 power haste for 3. Okay. When it enters the battlefield, return any number of aura cards from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to creatures you control. I guess you always have the Storm Herald, so exile those auras at the beginning of your next end step. If those auras would leave the battlefield, exile them. Excuse me. Exile them instead of putting them anywhere else. So the whole, no getting around bouncing it, sacrificing it, blah blah blah. And again, he's a hasty boy. So if you have nothing else to attach them to, you attach them to him.
Yep.
Auras that, of course, do something when they hit the battlefield probably be pretty good with this. We haven't. Remember the old Ordeal cards? Those are pretty cool. We haven't seen any of those, but something like that has some effect on the board. What auras have we seen?
I know that the first thing that I saw someone mention with this was Eldrazi Conscription, and my brain immediately came to a screeching halt.
Yeah, that's about right.
And that's like, I stopped thinking of ones after that. I'm like, well.
Well, I meant in this set, but that would certainly catch my attention.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you won the prize. Never mind then. I guess I'll stop thinking now.
See, Commanding Presence. That's a nice, interesting one.
One with the stars, which is not one you want.
Turns it off. So if you got one with the stars, well, okay, that's just weird. But if he lost this ability, this is still gonna happen. They're still gonna go at the end of the turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
a
all that
trigger
stuff is just part of the effect that the ability sets up as it resolves.
Right.
Ooh, you get Commanding Presence up in white.
What's that do?
+2/+2 first strike, and when it deals combat damage to a player, get a soldier.
Escape velocity. You give it haste.
Oh, dude, I love haste.
+1/+0 in haste. You can give him inevitable end.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to sacrifice things, but it won't come around back to it. So
thus far, not much. In other words,
Not
in this
much.
set.
yet.
Oh, Staggering Insight. Staggering Insight is awesome.
Oh, that's true.
What's
The
that?
power of my words compels
It's in,
you.
it's in gold.
We talked about this last time.
Yeah. It's one of the first ones we talked about.
Oh yeah.
It's totally sweet.
So there you go. You can give it plus with just the cards we've seen. You can give it plus 1, 2, 3, +4/+3, and lifelink, and whenever it deals
Haste.
combat damage to a player, draw a card, and super haste, and
Oh, Indomitable Will gives another +1/+2.
oh,
so
and
it's-
another +1/+2. So now it's
Yes.
what, 5/5?
Yeah, 5/5.
And make a when it deals combat damage to a. Hang on, scroll up. To a
To a player.
Player?
You draw a card and you get a soldier.
yeah, you draw a card and get a soldier. Seems good.
It's pretty good for 3 mana.
Yeah.
I'd play that.
3 mana, 5 color. Everything already has to be in your graveyard. Voltron.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we're done with what we've got here.
If that's...
But there is one more card
Okay.
that
Okay.
I don't think any of you have seen. So Dirk,
Yep.
this is for you, buddy. It's in the Discord chat.
Oh,
Huh. Is that? Yeah. We.
it's our
Yes.
Polukranos,
Something like that.
Unchained. Polukranos. Like they used to be able to say it back in the day.
Yeah, when it mattered, we could say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen him before.
I think it's Pelucranos is what we
Pelucranos.
pretty much figured out.
That makes it easier to pronounce too. Pelucranos.
Yeah.
Unchained. For 2, a black and a green. It is a 0/0 legendary creature, Zombie Hydra. That's
Yeah!
That's pretty metal.
All right. Pelucranos enters the battlefield with 6 +1/+1 counters on it. It escapes with 12 +1/+1 counters on it instead. If damage would be dealt to Pelucranos while it has a +1/+1 counter on it, prevent that damage and remove that many +1/+1 counters from it. For 1 black-green, Pelucranos fights another target creature. Escape. For 4 black and green, exile 6 other cards from your graveyard. There's a lot this card says.
So, it's big, or if it escapes from the underworld, it's huge!
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't take damage, it just loses counters, so it just loses heads.
Yeah.
But you can point it at something and be like, get him!
Yeah.
I like it. Plus, it's a 4-mana 6/6. Let's not forget that part.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's a 6-mana 12/12.
I mean, the whole losing heads things is kind of a drawback because it means damage sticks to it, right? The way I read that is that's why you can have these over the top stats, because the damage doesn't come off of it, but it's huge. So, and it has,
but with a little work to keep the way clear for him.
well,
That's a big wow.
Well, and you can just use him as a source of repeatable removal. Hey, fight this guy. Hey, fight that guy. Okay, he's dead. All right, now bring him back as a 12/12 and have him fight all the stuff. So, yeah. Elspeth killed him in the original Theros book. Spoiler alert for a set that's been out for, what, like 8 years now? Something like that. Obviously, like, with all these breaches, apparently death... What it's not what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Apparently, it's what kills you makes you stronger. So, I think this is pretty neat.
Theros came out in September 2013, and Journey into Nyx was May 2014.
Okay. So you've had 7 years to read this. So, spoiler alert: Heliod kills Elspeth.
What? But yeah, I saw this today, and it actually made me go. So yeah, seems good. I like it.
Yeah.
So now are we done?
I think we're done.
Yeah.
We'll have plenty to talk about next week at this rate. But I think we've done a good job of covering
The good stuff.
everything.
Like
The
we missed a couple cards here and there, but nothing really
nothing that
super
big.
interesting.
The alternate art, the variant art on Nyx Lotus looks like it might be the same art, maybe zoomed in a bit.
Yeah, it's
But-
Yeah.
whatever that.
But zoomed in and without the borders makes it look pretty beautiful. It still makes me nervous though.
Yeah,
And
it's
Satyr-
pretty.
And Satyr Girl zoomed in is even more raucous and rowdy.
Did you say raucous?
Is that not the word I meant?
Raucous.
Raucous. Thank you.
Oh,
Pronunciation of words and blah 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 blah.
I was like, what in the hell? I couldn't think of what that was. It's like, did Brian try to say erotic? Because I don't know how I feel about that.
No, I definitely didn't say that.
Out loud.
Oh, look! And Konoros is even more good boys. In the showcase art, or whatever this is called.
I think that's right.
Variant
Showcase.
or whatever.
Extended art. Because I think the Yeah, I think the gods are the showcase card frame, right?
Because showcase can still show up in regular boosters.
Can they?
Think so.
Some of them,
Some of them, yes.
not all of them.
With this only being the second set of those, I have no idea.
I thought that was just like special frame treatment stuff in Throne of Eldraine.
Because Throne of Eldraine, that you're right. The adventure ones, every now and then you'd have the special frame for that, and you could also
that was the showcase frame.
And you could also have so if these are the showcase cards, then it stands to reason. I remember my brother Jimmy was asking a little bit about Magic, and he was thinking about getting into it. So when I was opening up boosters I got for Christmas, one of the cards had the special frame, and then I also had a regular Flaxen Intruder, and I'm like, I'm glad it's not the other one. And he's like, what do you mean? And I pulled it up on the computer and I showed it to him, and he's like, what am I looking at? Oh God! So I've corrupted someone else.
Yeah, we've got the Nyx cards are the showcase card.
Yeah.
And then things like the Nessian Boar and the Setessan Champion are I think they're called extended art frame.
Yeah.
And then the Planeswalkers there's a name for it, but it's like it's alternate art and borderless.
Yeah. And those can actually also come in regular booster. Or they were in Throne of Eldraine. But
I don't remember how any of that works, so I'm not even going to mention it for fear that I'll be wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Alrighty.
Yes. One booster is more fancy than the other. If you want to maximize your fanciness, get the fancy one.
Exactly.
Fancy.
All right, so how about some final thoughts, dorks?
My final thought. In terms of the set, I'm glad to see that the gods are coming back, or are going to be involved in this. I even though they've released one of the multicolor gods, I don't really see the other ones sort of making an appearance. I don't think that they would be terribly integral to the story. And seeing as Satyr god person is gone, there would need to be someone who would have to replace him. So Clothes would be the replacement for him, and all the other ones would still be there. Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, because let's see, Athreos is the buy a box promo, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't actually appear in the set.
Correct.
At least that card.
Correct.
Yeah, it's not in draft boosters.
Right.
Clothes is not?
No, Athreos.
Athreos, the black-white one.
Oh, okay.
Athreos is only in the variants gallery, in case you were looking for him, Dirt. We talked about him on the last show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but I say the only one was the is it Timoret? That was the one that again I looked at and we thought, ugh. Just like Brian.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think the other ones are going to show up. I don't think they're significant. And it was Ephara, god of the Polis.
Ephara was the one I was thinking of earlier.
Ephara.
Yeah, the statue lady.
Mm. So yeah, that's essentially it for my final thoughts in this. Is I would love for them to be there because I like the variation in the two color abilities and all that, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to be there just because of the story and all that. But I am looking forward to seeing what all is going to be there when the full set drops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, for my final thought, I will just say that Happy New Year to everyone. I hope that everyone got through the holidays all right. Hopefully, you had a better than all right time, but you know, it can be stressful for some people. Hopefully, everybody is enjoying Magic previews, enjoying movies, and if you haven't seen the new Star Wars, you know, I liked it. Some people did, some people didn't. I liked it. The people really need to get off about some things. For example, spoiler alert, nobody really minds that Poe Dameron is in fact the love child of Tony Stark and Admiral Ozzel. Just get over it already. I mean,
Dude, spoilers!
I know, but I
I
couldn't sit
had
on
my
that one any longer.
suspicions.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Apparently that was the last time he failed Vader, but anyway. So again, had a great time and enjoying a few new board games with the family. It's kind of nice to spend a little time hanging out with Carrie and Sam. It was wonderful to see family, but at one point we did have 9 people in the house, and it's always nice to then come back from that and kind of ease back.
It's always nice to get 9 people out of the house.
Well, I guess that includes us. So if 9 people left, then there'd be no one here. But if you include the dog and cats, it's way more than 9. So
Sometimes it's nice to get out of the house.
yeah, it can be, but kind of nice to just have our own house to ourselves. So, and I am going to not be sticking around just because I've been yawning a little bit, and I'm going to try and catch some Z's and Z's, followed by more Z. I'll be back with you guys next week for more previews.
Yay.
Yay.
Night, B.
Good night.
All right.
Next.
I was actually about to start rolling into my introduction. That wouldn't be helpful. People already know who I am. If they were listening from the beginning, if they started in the middle, they might not. But oh well, they can just go back and listen to the beginning if they want to find that out. Yeah, I also had a good holidays, visiting with people, visiting with family. I really enjoy going up to the mountains for a few days after Christmas. It's a pretty regular thing to visit with my mom's family. They like to get together all together. And I think at the peak number of people, like not all of them were staying in at my uncle's house, but the peak number of people was like 30 people in my uncle's house. You know, having dinner and visiting with each other and talking and doing a Secret Santa gift exchange. And so it got loud, it got chaotic, but people are used to it. And everyone really enjoys it. And I enjoy it. It's a giant crowd of people that I know, so it doesn't bother me as much. Actually, giant crowds of people don't bother me. Giant crowds of people I don't know who are looking at me, that bothers me. Any giant crowd of people looking at me bothers me. Anyway.
In case you were wondering why we don't have cameras on this show.
Yeah, well, I can't see the listeners looking at me, so then it doesn't bother me. Yeah, I don't know whether I had anywhere more intelligent to go with that.
I'm a guess, probably not.
No, probably not.
Well, you know, New Year's, you get to sort of figure out what you want to do for the New Year's, and hopefully the world won't burn itself down and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and I already screwed that up by going to bed after midnight on a work night, so I'll try to do better tonight.
Burn the world down, Mike.
Yeah. Way to go, buddy.
All right, I think I'm done.
All right. Well, that just leaves me, and I will say, hi, I'm Chewie. I'm the lead dork, and wait, no, now I'm doing the intro. You can find all of the stuff that we do, or that I do, here on the Mana Pool. It's either on Twitch, where I live stream the stuff, or it's on YouTube, where at least once a day we get the YouTube videos going up. It's a bare minimum of once a day. at the moment. Let's see what's going up right now. There's Shovel Knight, The Spectre of Torment. I finished it, and so those videos are finishing up. There's Link's Awakening on the Switch, which I still haven't finished. That'll be a stream I do sometime soon to finally wrap it up. Hearthstone, because I don't make New Year's resolutions because that's stupid, but what I do is try to do better. So I'm going to try to hit Legend at some point this year without losing my damn mind. Because the last time I tried to hit Legend, it was bad. And I spent basically the next month just not playing Hearthstone after I could only make it to rank 1 before I wanted to rip my own face off. So I'll try to do it this year at some point without wanting to rip my own face off. So yeah, that'll be fun, hopefully. And that's in Hearthstone. Yeah, I think I said that. I'm also tired. Like, I don't have to... So, when I had to step away earlier, it was because I got a call for a drive to go to Martinez, Georgia, which is right next to Augusta. And my brain is already starting to, like, okay, go to sleep. You have to get up at super early in the morning. And no, we're not going tomorrow morning. But my brain is already like, you got to go to sleep. So it's starting to, like, shut down some non-vital functions. And apparently, speaking is one of those. Nah. But anyway, so yeah, coming up. Oh man, coming up on Twitch and then probably later to YouTube. The next game I'm gonna start is the Untitled Goose Game, also known as, well, how I describe it to people, the Asshole Goose Simulator.
Yes.
Yeah. So, because my friend Casey found out that I didn't have it, and she goes, well, this can't be right, and so she sent it to me. And aw. So I'm gonna do that. There's something else, but I closed Steam. Of course I closed Steam. Damn it. There's something else that I was all excited to start playing, like, soon. I did get some really, really sweet, like, presents from people. I think on the last episode, at least I think it was the last episode, I talked about our soul rings that ALK Alter sent. Which, Mike, you were in my house, and I didn't give you your damn soul ring.
I forgot about it completely until you said something just now.
And I haven't seen Dirk to give him his yet. Brian got his, though, so... Brian, if he was still here, would go, but yeah. Magnor Creel just a couple days ago sent me Hand of Fate 2. Like, I was sitting here doing stuff, and Steam goes, burp. I'm like, what? And I look over, and it's like, you have a gift. I'm like, oh my god! And, I got another gift. So I have to finish Hand of Fate 1, so I can play Hand of Fate 2. But I got another gift. But because I closed Steam and it's not right in front of me... Oh, it was the Resident Evil 2 remake. Which... Yeah, which I don't actually know if my computer can run and stream that, since it's brand new. So we'll have to see. But Al sent that to me just out of the blue. And I went, huh? Because that's what I do. So yeah. Thank you so much to both of you. And I swear there was something else. But again, I don't have Steam open. And so now I feel like a terrible person. But, regardless. But Untitled Goose Game is coming up. There's another thing I was really excited to stream soon. And now I don't remember what it is. But don't worry, I've got all kinds of stuff lined up to stream soon. Untitled Goose Game is just the one that I've been waiting for the longest. Once I finish Link's Awakening, that'll be the next thing I do. So that'll be another... At least one... I don't know how long Untitled Goose Game is, but I don't think it's terribly long. But it'll be another stream or two and YouTube videos, because If for those that don't know, it's a stealth game where you're a goose tormenting the people in like a small town.
Yeah. Running around playing pranks and being a jerk.
Yeah, it's just being a goose because all geese are assholes. Just in case you didn't know.
They are.
I showed it to my friend Amanda, and she goes, if that was a Canadian goose, it would be just dead on. And she's not wrong. But only because that's what we have around here, and they're jerks. But anyway, so that's just one of the many things that I, for some reason, can't remember now because I never can when it comes time to talk about them. That's coming up soon. But yeah, Twitch streams happen all the time. Monday Night Magic, we'll kick that back up next week. That happens on Monday nights. The Mana Pool is Thursday nights, unless we have to change their schedule at some point in the future for various dorks. And at least one YouTube video goes up every day. Yes. And yeah, so Mana Pool Productions on the whole is a Patreon-supported endeavor. So, if you like the idea of YouTube videos every day and streams throughout the week and 2 podcasts every week, then you should totally go to patreon.com/themanapool and become a lifeguard. Because you can get YouTube videos and Mana Pool episodes early. You can get the odds and ends, which all of the odds and ends from last year that have not gone up yet are processed and just waiting to be listened through. I got 3 of them up yesterday after I finished processing the, I think, 5 or 6 that I had left. I spent a lot of time on odds and ends yesterday. So yeah, it's behind the scenes nonsense that's uncensored, where you get to hear Clues swear a lot. You even occasionally get to hear Brian swear. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it always catches me out. And even Dirk occasionally will bust one out. And I'm like, what? And it weirds me out. It's mostly Clues, though. Let's be real. So yeah, those will be going up in like chunks. As soon as I listen to one, it's going up. And I'll probably cap myself at 3 in a day just so people aren't inundated with all this new crap. But 3 a day is still going to be a lot. But don't worry. Listening through them is the easy part because I just turn on Dota Underlords or Hearthstone and play and listen at 1.5 speed and take notes. So that's the easy part. But I have to do that in case of personal information or stuff. Someone goes, hey, could you stop the recording? And then I forget, which I don't think ever happened, but you never know. So better safe than sorry. And I type up some quick, like, random show notes, and they go up on Patreon. So yay. But also, you can get the sponsorship shout out on both podcasts and on all the end screens for all the YouTube videos, which there's a lot because there's at least one a day. And so that's our Mythic Lifeguards, and I would like to thank them right now. Thank you to Jason Doan, Kim Ho, Andrew Hunt, Al, Lance Delicious. I think it's his birthday. Tim Uhellas, how are you? Connor Kennedy, John Morris, Alex Gonzalez, Scuzzo, Jeff Spencer, Stuart Slaw, PJ McMullen, Sophia Bertain, Casey, Faye and Says, Danny Liao, Cody Buckowing, Jake Jansons, Jason Kaus, Gothic Man. That was the other thing. Gothic sent me the Winter Veil Wonder Bundle, which I then opened for a YouTube video. That's what it was. I knew I was missing something. John Parker, Violet Moon, Aleph Cat, Beardy Man, Dan Holm, Bartle. Go away. Not you, Bartle. There's a piece of fuzz or something that just flew into my mouth. Where did I stop? Backwards Logic and the Beast Father, Aaron Goodwine. Lord have mercy. So, thank you to all of our Mythic Lifeguards and all of our lifeguards at every tier. Another thing I'm going to do this year is rework the Patreon tiers. As I meant to do probably, 4 or 5 months ago and just never could figure out a way to make it feel right. So I just sort of stopped. But that's another thing I have to do. Yes. So hopefully 2020 will be a better year just for everyone involved. I certainly hope it's better for me because 2019 sucked ass. Just by and large. Yeah. 2019 was kind of dildos. So, yeah. So hopefully 2020 is better for all of us. Yes.
And will not be weird silly jokes about the year.
Right. This Merit Lodge has that covered. Just leave it alone. I have crystal clear vision that this year will be better. Dirk, stop trying to kill me with your mind. Stop it.
Okay.
So, you're making my head itch. So
on the ABC New Year's Rockin' Eve program coverage, before they went to the the last segment of the night where they were going to do the countdown, they did play a supercut of Barbara Walters saying this is 2020, and I'm like, oh my.
No, the best one was apparently on CNN. Anderson Cooper and some other guy was on there, and they had the SNL person who impersonates Barbara Walters, and she just stayed in character. And Anderson Cooper is rolling, laughing the entire time. Oh, it was incredibly funny to just watch him do it. Just watch him laugh and everything. It just gave you the giggles too. But that was a fun one to watch.
Man, who else here is old and remembers Anderson Cooper back when he was on Channel 1 when we were in middle school?
Me.
Yeah.
I don't think we did much Channel 1 at my schools. Not that I remember.
Man, and then he grew up to be like a real person. I was like, wow, look at him go.
Lisa Ling also grew up to be a real person too.
Yeah. She does like documentary things, investigative whatever thing. I can't think of the word. It's late and I'm tired and my brain is still trying to shut down. So we're going to shut up now. But I hope everyone had a happy new year, continues to have a happy new year. And if you're listening to this after it becomes an audio version or goes up on YouTube, I know it's like after the 5th, but that's fine. You can still say Happy New Year up until like the 12th, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Just arbitrary numbers.
It's, as of today, it's still technically Christmas, 12 days and all that. So
I hate you.
Merry Christmas.
You know what? Happy Valentine's Day. No, not upcoming, from the last one. So, thank you all. Oh my God. Thank you all so very much for joining us. If you're still here, that's amazing. And go play some Magic.